Yeah, I tell you, it's like talking to a brick wall. Oh, hi everyone. This is Rusty Dog, and you may guess this is not Elite Dangerous. It's pretty obvious considering the title of the video. This is Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. And you can see from the top left there that I have accumulated $48,380, which is close to my target of $50,000, which is when I'm going to see if I can buy a car from a barn find. So there's several barns scattered around the map, and I'll be able to buy my own car and work on it in my own time, funding the project from repairing customer cars. So this is my workshop, which looks the same as everybody else's workshop who's got this game. So I'm going to take on a quick tour, and then we're going to fix that car. I don't think it'll make me the 50,000. It may do. Depends what's wrong with it. I mean, I know what's wrong with it, but it depends how deep it goes. So this is my workroom. I had a little radiator leak there the other day. It's nothing major. We'll tidy that up at some point. That's my old pawn stash. No, just kidding. Okay, so we have the oil drainer, where you can obviously catch all the old oil. It never seems to need emptying. It seems to have a unlimited supply. In here is my toolbox. Now, you don't actually have tools in here as such. It's more a way of leveling up in the game. So as you progress, I'm not quite sure yet. I still haven't worked this out because you don't really get instructions with this game so much, unless there's a help that I've missed in the main menu, which there probably is. But I think when I hit 5, 6, 31, I'll get another skill point, I suppose, and then I can have access to the rest of these highlighted things. And then of course that will start highlighting more things, and it'll be here when I get another garage expansion to add another lifter, which will be great. That'll be handy. I can have 2 jobs on the go at the same time, especially if they're similar jobs. A warehouse, that's going to be very handy, and another parking spot to your garage. I don't exactly know how many I've got already. Okay, obviously this is the car lift. Or you can. I don't know if it'll lift. No, it won't lift with no car on. Yeah. Over here we have the tyre changer. I'm sure anybody who's got a car is probably seeing one of these. Literally, for just stripping the tyre off the car and putting it, stripping the tyre off the wheel and putting it back on again. It's pretty much automated that anyway. And then this, of course, for balancing the wheels afterwards, which I suppose you don't have to do, but you should, and I always do because I'm a very conscious mechanic there. This is my repair bench. I haven't actually used it to repair anything. Oh, that's not true. I did test it out on a part that I bought in a barn. I think I bought an old headlight or a tail light, and I bought some other parts, and I just came here. Couldn't access the tail light. I think it was red, so yeah, couldn't access the tail light to repair that. But currently my repair chance sits at 50. Is it 50% or 55? Let's have a look. I can't remember if I if I earned the 55. I don't think so. No. So my successful repair chance is only 50% at the moment, which means if I bring a part here that's in a rough condition, I've got a 50-50 chance of being able to repair it, which means I can save buying a new one, or it'll completely fail and then I've got to buy a new one anyway. But I think if the part is completely duff, I don't think you can repair it. I have not tested that out yet. But there's 3 states of duffness. So you've got red, which means the part needs replacing. You've got yellow, which means the part's kind of worn. But if it's above a certain percentage that the customer will accept, then you can still fit it back to the car. And if it's green, it's good, 100%. Kind of ish, good to go. So maybe we'll have a look at that when we take some of these parts off this car. In here is my what they call a test path. You've probably seen this on the car's MOT test or whatever you call it. overseas. This is the, but for Britain and stuff, it's MOT test, which is the Ministry of Transport, and this is where your car will go to be roadworthy. And you can't use these machines separately, but we have this machine which I'm not quite sure what that does, but it's part of the path test. But that looks a bit evil. And then we've got this, which again, you click on either of these and it just does the same routine. You don't, but this is a checking for headlight alignment and brightness and stuff, but even with that you can't use that as a part. And then it's the same over here for this thing. And it would be handy if we could make use of these things, by if you're going to start the car up, you have to put one of these pipes on the exhaust so that you don't get fumed out. But you can't use that. And another disappointment in here, I don't know whether this will come to life once I've unlocked the interior detailing, because that's an unlock waiting to come. So is the auctions. I haven't unlocked that yet. What else? The racetrack and the car salon. But eventually when my workshop expands, I'll be able to do my own interior detailing, which I'm looking forward to. But you can't go down here, so this is really disappointing, unless I'm just a really fat mechanic and just can't fit down there. I must have eaten a lot of cheeseburgers, but it's a shame you can't go down there. But I mean, I don't really need to, because this is just for inspecting underneath the car, and I can already do that on my car lift. So here's where you bring a car that's got suspension or brake issues, and you can put it on these rollers, and on this to test the suspension, and then it may discover what parts you need in case the parts are not discovered already. Sometimes you get a list that's provided to tell you what's wrong with the car and what needs to change. Sometimes it says parts not discovered, in which case you have to find out the problem yourself, which is kind of good. It's a good little challenge. The last item here is this spring puller, which I came to realize that I needed to use when I couldn't fit a shock absorber back on the car, because of course the shock absorber comes in 3 pieces: the cap, the spring, and the actual absorber itself. And unless you piece it together or take it apart with this, you're not going to fit it back on the car. Now we can open the door here and we can actually get inside. Let's take a look at this car's status. So the timing needs replacing, so we need a new water pump, a cam gear, timing change, and a water pump pulley. That's going to be lovely. Grinding and shaking from gearbox. 4 parts not discovered, so we don't know what's causing that, so I have to find that out. We might be able to test that on the test track and see if we can figure it out. If we take it to the test track, I'm wondering whether we will hear the grinding from the gearbox. Be interesting to hear whether we can hear that. And general gearbox control and repair. So we have 9 parts not discovered. So we can actually do the timing first. Let's fix the timing, and then we'll take the car to the test track and see if we can discover any faulty parts. If we can't, I don't even know if the car moves, but we'll see. If we can't, then we'll have to discover the parts ourselves. So we can get in here, see if the car starts. Alright, well at least it starts. So what we'll do first thing then is the usual, which is move it to the car lifter. We can take it to the test path, but there's no point testing brakes and suspension because the customer is not reporting any issues with that. It's gearbox issues and timing. So we're going to remove the water pump, the cam gear, the timing change, and the water pump pulley. Now, if they're visible, because they're on a list, if you go to, let's see if it does it in overview mode. Yeah, oops, I forgot you can walk away from the car in overview mode. You can see here, anything in red needs changing. it's easier though, sometimes I'm pressing the wrong buttons, but if I just focus in here and then I do right click and examine mode, so we can see that these two parts which are visible need changing, but we need to take off the serpentine belt first, and there may be other parts inside, or when we take this, oh, wait a minute though, where's the cover? Can be examined with a compression tester. No, I don't have one of those yet. Yeah, so that fan's got to come off. Let's see if we can discover the parts. You'll find usually that if parts need to be discovered, that it's usually a very rusty part. It seems to be a case of parts are rusty or not rusty. Nothing to do with me. But yeah, the parts are either rusty or not rusty, and that kind of tells you what condition they're in. Okay, well, we seem to have been radiated out a little bit, so here we go. So let's get the fan off. So okay, we need that, and we can get this belt off now. Now we can get the pump off and the water pump. And we take those off. I've been messing around with the game volume, so I'm hoping that it's not too loud, it's not too overpowering. So if we take a look in my inventory now, I've got a water pump pulley and a water pump. The other thing, it should be, oh, it's not ticked yet, I haven't fixed it. Timing chain and cam gear. So what you can do, if you're not sure where they are, you can click these and it highlights them here, so now you can tell that they're inside the timing cover. And the way you take that off is obviously the belt and all these pulleys, the other pulleys that need to come off. That's just in case you don't know where the part is. It will actually highlight, which is handy, but I've done enough of these cars to know where these bits are already. But it's just a handy little feature, so let's take them off because we know where they are. Any self-respecting mechanic would know. Right, so the serpentine D-belt has to come off, crankshaft pulley off. There's a couple of downsides to this simulator at the moment. The first one I've noticed is a lot of repetitive jobs. I've done a lot of timing jobs, suspension and brakes, the occasional exhaust. There's not enough variation. I've gone through a lot of cars. I've done $48,000 worth of repairs, and they've all been similar-ish. I've not really had any variations on that. So you can take these bolts off whether you're looking at them or not. You can be right back here and it'll work. Oh my god, am I inside the engine? I was. I thought I was. Okay, so we can take this cover off now. You'll know you'll be able to remove it by the fact of it turning green. Oh, it's off. I just took it off. Yeah, any part that's yellow, like that, you can't take the ignition distributor off because you need to take off the wires first. So we have the timing chain and the cam gear. And I think that's it. It is indeed. Okay, so, oops, this is from my last job. Get rid of that. You can sell the old parts for a minimal amount. You can't really repair brakes. But yeah, though, this is a thing. Now, the red doesn't mean it's not repairable. The red just means that it's screwed. Well, I don't think you can repair these parts. You certainly can't repair a timing chain, and you know, anybody who would even think of doing that is an idiot. So I can't really repair any of these. But say you've got something, what's the worst one here? Can't repair that. There's nothing really repairable here. Is there? Yeah, we can click on this. Okay. So the timing cover is the only thing we can repair. So it'll cost $4 to repair. Now, it doesn't need replacing. So we'd be spending $4 for nothing. If the repair doesn't work, which as I've said before is 50-50, as you can see on the screen there, it says repair chance 50%. If it doesn't work, I'm going to have to buy myself a new one, where right now I don't. Now the condition is set to, on this one, to 75%. I shouldn't have said set there. The condition of that part is 75%. On the car status, it says here repair with minimal part condition 57. So anything that's yellow that's below 57% does not go back on the car. But I'm not sure, yeah. I've got a feeling that no matter what part I take off that's worn, it will not be under 57%. So I'm not sure whether it's actually got to that level. There's certainly nothing in my inventory that is less than 57. So these red parts, these red condition parts, these have to be replaced. So we pop over to the computer. I haven't got my iPad yet. I need to upgrade to one of those. Then I don't have to walk over to the computer. But hey, it's right there, so I'm not really into it. Now the radio doesn't work yet. They disabled the radio, so they're hoping to re-enable it in a later patch. As you can see, very, very top right of the screen, there's been six patches already, which is good. They've been patching this game all over the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, there's a patch been out every day, and I like that. Yes, it's like saying, well, why weren't these bugs picked up? But you know what? I don't even think that way. I think that these guys are on it. They're working on it every day. There are new bugs being fixed every day, and yeah, I've got no complaints on that. Right, so we have a water pump, and we need the V8 overhead valve version and a water pump pulley. So let's get those two first. So water pump and water pump V8 OHV. So if we just go into, oh, let me show you this. On my internet I've got 6 bookmarks, and that's pretty much it. I can't go here and type anything, so I spend most of my time here, as you can imagine. I haven't even accessed this yet. All this, rims I have and tires I have. I've forgotten what it was. Oh jeez. Right, water pump. Right, so thankfully we can do a little search here. Water PU, that'll do. Alright, so we need a water pump V8 OHV, so it's one of these. We'll buy one. And that's for a supercharger. We certainly don't need that. I wonder if I get a project vehicle, I can actually fit one and fit my own supercharger to a car. Yeah. Thing is, I found a lot of other project vehicles, and well, I'm calling them that. The barns. Let me show you. I'm going a bit off tack here. That if you visit these barns, I've noticed if you visit one and you don't buy a car from it, the barn disappears from the map. I don't know whether that's a bug, but certainly this has come back. There was one here that's disappeared. But I found some of the cars in there. There's usually 1 or 2 cars and a load of junk parts you can buy. It's always a good idea to look out to see if you can buy junk parts that fit on the car you're taking. But some of the cars are $45,000, and this is why I'm waiting till I get to 50. But not to buy a car that value, because I've also seen one which didn't look so good as a used Trans Am. It looked like a Trans Am to me, but there was a crappier looking car that was about 21,000. If I can pick up something like that as my first project car, well, first I can put it on my second lifter when I get it, but I've got a parking garage outside which I can put it in, and I can work on that and do a complete full restoration if I want, or just do a mechanical restoration and leave the bodywork as it is. But I'll do a full restoration on that car, and I'd probably like to video that car's journey, and then probably sell it afterwards. Either, well, it'll have to be sold at an auction. So maybe the auction opens up when I buy a car from the barn. I don't know. then I can visit the junkyard to buy parts. I can't go there yet, as you can see. I've only got test track, the parking, the garage, and the barns available. These two I don't have available yet. I can show you the parking. I think I can also access it from here. Yeah, so if we go outside, I have to wait. I've got to buy 2 more parts. Thankfully, when you buy the parts, and you order them, I should say, they arrive instantly. So this is it. They've made the wall high enough where you can't see over, so they don't have to render the whole city. You can't go down, and you can't go up. So I think I've got 1, 2. I don't know if I've got all these spaces. I think I've. Do I have all these spaces available? That's quite a lot. So maybe I can take 6 jobs and just park all the cars here. So I would take 1 job, park the car, because the cars always appear in the garage. Take another job, park the car, and then just do them one after the other. Especially if they've got money bonuses, because the cars only appear on the job list for a certain amount of time. So I may want to grab those before they disappear and put the cars here and work on them. Because there doesn't seem to be any time limit, like infuriated customers having to wait for ages. I've not come across anything like that. And I feel there's a few areas where this can go a little bit more detailed. Like, for example, you can't, at least I've not seen an instance where you can take out valves, go to your repair bench and regrind them or something and reseat them and stuff like that. I've not seen anything quite like that yet. It's quite simplified in a way. I mean, when you're mounting parts on the car, it highlights them so you know what to mount and where maybe there should be like an expert mode where it doesn't tell you those things. That's a strange shadow, but that's quite correct, because once you've got a couple of light sources here and they're then creating that shadow like that, and you'll find that that shadow moves quite nicely when the car's going up on the lifter, as we will probably see when we have to access the gearbox. Right, so we've bought the new parts, so let me get rid of or sell these that I don't need anymore, because I keep forgetting to do it. So we need a V8 overhead valve cam gear and a V8 overhead valve timing chain. So I'm going to try and just do V8 OHV. If I can get to the 8. Oh yeah. So I need a cam belt and a timing chain. Well, the timing chain is there. Did I say a cam belt? Why do I keep forgetting this stuff? I've got dementia. Cam gear. Cam gear. Which is what somebody with a speech impediment would say to their dog, I suppose. Cam gear. Right, okay. That was a stupid joke. I don't know why I said that. But anyway, so now we've bought the parts. Let me just get rid of the old ones. Where did this come from? See, it's another bug. Double wishbone shock absorber. Where does that come from all of a sudden? Am I going to suddenly find that this car hasn't got a shock absorber on it? That wasn't there before. Still some bugs working out. I'm going to have to maybe write them a little note in the discussion forum to say, hey, parts are appearing on my inventory for no reason. Okay, so now we're going to fit the parts. So let's just click on the engine so we can at least get into the area. If I click here, I can even get more into the area. So now watch this. When I right click and go to part mount, it highlights the parts we can mount. Now there's more parts to mount obviously, but they're not highlighted yet because they're not ready to go on the car yet. So it actually nurses you in effect through the order. and I didn't get rid of the old cam gears. See, so it's basically telling me what order. Now this is handy if you've taken off a shed load of parts and you're not quite sure. Where they go, what they were. Well, you know what they are because of your inventory, but you don't see your inventory when you're here. So we'll stick that on, and now we'll put the water pump on. That's a big water pump, isn't it? Wow. They're quite small on the modern cars now compared to that. And a water pump pulley. And that didn't need screwing on. You see, what's going on there? That doesn't just slide on. But there's no way of actually fixing it. Okay. 2 serpentine belts and a radiator fan. Oh, okay. When you put the fan on. When you put the fan on, that's when the bolts go on, of course. So okay, let's carry on then. And we need the other serpentine belt. A, I think it is. Yeah. B's always the one behind A. So, and now, this is when it bolts on. That makes sense. I was just wondering. I thought you can't just, but there are parts like this where they just slide in, and you think, and there is no way of, like with wheel bearings and bushings, we don't have a machine for like a press for putting the bearings in. And I can understand that because there's so many times when you taking off bearings, you really wouldn't be taking the parts to the press every time. Might be annoying, especially on suspension arms. Although I don't know, maybe they could implement it. I think there should be an expert mode here, because if you are a mechanic, this is going to be just a breeze to you. So let's take a look at the car status now. So timing needs replacing. As you can see, we are all done there. What we don't know about is the gearbox. So I'm going to, we didn't even need to put the car on the lift for that one. So let's take the car to the test track, which means taking it to the garage first, garage entrance. And now we can sit inside. I'm not sure whether this is going to, I don't see as how putting it on the test track is going to discover any gearbox faults, but if you're a mechanic and you can hear for it and say, oh yeah, that sounds like this is gone, or that sounds like that's gone, then maybe, I don't know, maybe it will. I haven't tried it before, so I have tried the test track obviously many times, but I haven't tried testing it in terms of gearbox parts. So let's see if it does discover anything, or even if we can move the car or even shift gear. As it's an American car, I'm guessing it's an automatic, although the gear stick didn't look like it was. So it's basically 4 tests: acceleration, slalom, suspension and brakes. So acceleration test first, and I'm doing this with my keys, so it's not ideal. So now we're going into the slalom test. It seems to be, it's in second gear. Oh, I've never done that before. That's the first time I've crashed on the slalom, and I've taken about 6 cars around here. Okay, let's have a look outside. I want to try and get up some speed so it changes gear again. Unless it won't change gear. Yeah, it did. I went the wrong way. Done that a few times. Oh, is there no driver? Bloody hell, it's Knight Rider. Okay. So over the suspension. Yeah, wavy suspension as you get on the old lessened cars. And now round to the brake test. We have to do this to complete the actual test track. Alright, Dukes of Hazzard. So I didn't hear anything wrong with the gearbox, so I'm going to guess that there's no parts discovery here. and we're going to have to strip the gearbox off. And I don't know if you can strip a gearbox down into its component parts. I'm not sure about that. I've got a feeling you can't. Again, an expert mode on this where you can do those things would be fantastic. The reason I bought this as well was because I already owned Car Mechanic Simulator 2015 and 2014. I didn't really. Oh, it has. We have discovered three parts out of 9. Good. Clutch pressure plate, clutch release bearing, clutch plate. So the 3 parts of the clutch. So I think there's going to be, what's that other part that they put in there? Oh my god. The flywheel, possibly the flywheel. I've lost my train of thought now. Maybe I was talking about an expert mode thing. But it would be, yeah, expert mode would be fantastic. You know, to get it more detailed. And right, anyway, let's get it up. And another thing, there's no suspension travel when the car goes up. The wheels are completely static. Right, so we're going to click it again, and we're going to go right up. So now that we've discovered those parts, you'll find that if you go into, oops, wrong thing. You'll find that if you go into examine mode, you can, obviously there's nothing lit up in red because all the clutch assembly stuff is inside the gearbox here. And to take that off, we're probably going to have to take the prop shaft off and stuff, and the starter. So we're going to take the gearbox off and see, and the gearbox casing itself looks mank. But that wouldn't come up in a test, right? So let's get the starter off. And do we see the the cog in there? Normally when you look in there you can see the flywheel thing, and you can't there. Right, now you can see that the prop shaft, where have you gone? It always ends up way over here. I can't click on it, but I think to drop this gearbox I've got to remove the exhaust. You can see here it's just, so I'm going to have to remove these exhaust pipes. I can't understand why I can't take off that prop shaft. I've had this issue before. Drive shaft, there we go. And that won't come off until there are bolts here and bolts there. Do I have to? Ah, it does, there we go. So there's 4 bolts on this side. I wonder why it was yellow then. And on the other side there is another 4. Same on all cars that come in this garage. Now we can strip the gearbox off, and that casing looks in quite a crap condition, so we may have to change that. So let's disassemble the clutch. So we have the clutch release bearing, the pressure plate, and the clutch plate itself. Standard 3 parts of the clutch. That looks awful. And the flywheel, I said it would be the flywheel, and there it is. So have we discovered all the parts for the gearbox yet? Yes, we have. Anything here? No, we've got them all. You'll find that clutch pressure plate is, look, is repeated here, so there wasn't 9 parts after all, thankfully. Just 5. Okay, fantastic. So let's go and order these parts. So if I look in my inventory then, we can get rid of these. The actual gearbox was rusty as well, as if you remember, and you can see it's down to 13. I don't know if let me have a look on the repair bench, because what I'm curious about is, no, you can't repair anything. I'm curious if you can repair things that are in the red, or are they too far gone? So we're looking at V8 overhead valve gearbox, and then we want all 4 parts to the clutch, 3 parts plus the flywheel. So I think I can remember that. So V8 overhead valve gearbox, that's not going to be cheap. So I might make some good profit here. And there's a money bonus on fixing this car as well, so that's always good. Okay, so let's get the gearbox first. So that's this guy. Ooh, that's not a bad price. That's a pretty good price actually. Okay, so now we've got the 3 parts to the clutch. So we've got the clutch plate, pressure plate, and as you can see, these are standard over every car in the game. And the flywheel. And that is that. That was a nice, easy job to do. Suspension and stuff suspension and brakes are a little bit tedious. Timing stuff can be, but it's not a big deal. But if you're taking off all the suspension, you've got rubber bushings and bearings and more bushings and more bearings. Oh, nightmare. So, but it's okay. You know, I just wish there was more variation in the actual. Oh, you can do it with the exhaust on, because it's already saying I can mount the exhaust. Let's put those on then. I didn't need to take them off. I thought I would have had to drop the gearbox down, but clearly you don't. Yeah, so I've lost my train of thought again. So there you go. Just keep interrupting myself. Get. Like if I wanted to upgrade this car, I know it's not mine, I wouldn't be able to do it. And also, I've lost my train of thought again. It was something to do with custom. Oh yeah, you can, even though this is a customer car and say they only came in needing a new clutch, I could literally just strip the engine down to its component parts. I wouldn't get paid any extra, and it would just cost me my own time. But it would just be an exercise, really. And you know what else would be cool? I don't think we need one in the game. A torch. Mechanics always need a torch. You have a look in there and inspect, like maybe the teeth on the flywheel to see if they're knackered or something, rather than just rust being the indicator that something's, that something needs replacing. Because that's what it is. Rust is the indicator. A little bit of rust, not so much. And most cars, I think it's only 2 cars that have come in here that have not had rust all over the bodywork. So I need to go and do the other side of the shaft. Where are you? No, it's the shaft came out in one piece, so what's going on here? There we go. So we'll mount this. Now at the moment I've not had to do any wheels, rims, using the tyre machine or the balancing machine or the spring puller. But we'll take a look at what's going on after this. See if there's any other car orders. I would like to get to the barn, to be honest, and see if I can pick up a cheap car. Nothing in the 40,000 range. I think we're done, aren't we? We are indeed. So I'm going to sell, look at that, $59 for that one. It must have been, it's just, you're selling them for scrap, basically. That's all you're doing. Okay, so we can bring the car down. See, all this rust, so many cars come in here like this. We don't have to lower the car, but I think we'll see now that the car order is done. Oh, lovely payout. I only spent $2,600. I've got a task bonus of that amount and a job bonus of that amount. Yes, sirree, Bob. Yeah, the car's got 221,000 kilometers. Okay. This is the car's details, the power curve and the torque curve and stuff. Nice. And there it goes. Oh, 54,000. Now I got a money bonus. I haven't reached 5,600, so I'm not going to get any skill points, I don't think. So, oh yeah, I got my engine crane, which they've spelt correctly here, C-R-A-N-E. In the 106 changelog history, they spelt crane C-R-A-I-N twice. Yeah, so let's have a look and see what orders we've got. See if we've got anything. We've got a gearbox issue here. Gears keep slipping. That's a clutch, isn't it? Repair all gearbox faults, grinding and shaking from gearbox. No bonus on that one. I've got less than 2 minutes to decide whether to take that job or not. No bonus on that one. Look at all that though. Engine oil and filter. Poor brake performance. Ah, okay. We can test that then. Put that on the path test and do the brakes. So we can, yeah, we'll probably take that one. I've got 30 seconds. No bonus. Experience bonus. Okay. And what was that one? Tapping sound from the engine bay. Don't know. There's a lot of work there. And I'm lazy. So what I can do, that order's going to stay there for another minute or so. What I can do is move this car to the car lift and then put the other one here. God, how Range Rover-y does that look? Very much looking like a Range Rover. So this one that's got the money bonus, which one is it? Experience bonus, which will help up here. Repair all engine faults. Tapping sound from engine bay. List provided. Engine is working, but it's choppy. Probably got to do with some of this. Replace timing related parts, gear slipping. General gearbox. And we've got an exhaust replacement here with a money bonus. I could park one in the garage and one outside. So let's take this one. I haven't done this before, so I'm going to try it. But that means I've got to get a car out the door. Oh no! Parking's only, yeah, so I've got to get a car out the door, shifted and done before I can go to a barn and bring a car here. Oh no, I don't. I can put it in the parking. I can put it in the parking space because it'll be a car that I own. So, okay, let's take a look at this. This is brakes, I think, right? So we can just go and buy these parts now, right now, but I don't know which side this is on. So as it is listed, it will be highlighted, so we'll know which corner it's on. And it's more than one corner because there's two sets of brake pads. ABS pump is in the engine, so we can do that straight away. That should be here. And there it is. That looks pretty bad. So we'll strip this off, get the engine bit done first. Yeah, so I'm quite liking this. It's distracting me from Elite Dangerous, but yeah, there's not enough going on in that game for me right now. That's not repetitive. And yeah, I need to go back to it every time feeling fresh with it, you know. And that's why I'm not on it too much. I mean, since I did the clipper, the Parrot clipper, I haven't done anything to it. I haven't done any material sourcing. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. So I thought, well, I might as well put a video up of what I am playing. This isn't the only thing I'm playing, of course, but I thought about putting videos up of the racing simulations that I play, the racing sims there. But I find myself getting I swear a lot. I really do swear a lot, actually, in real life. And I get frustrated, especially if I can't quite nail that lap, or I'm just, yeah, and it annoys me. So I don't know whether it's wise to put those up. If I did it as a live stream, it might be better, because then I'd know, you know, to control myself. Oops, did that wrong. Okay, I can't see any red bits there, but the brake, now maybe they would show up there actually, the brake discs. Let's take a look on the back. Yeah, the brake disc's not visible. So I don't know which corner this is going to be on. I really don't know which corner this is going to be on. So if we look now at the car status, obviously pressed the wrong thing. So the ABS pump is done, so we need a ventilated brake disc. So I'm guessing that the vented ones are on the front. I think these cars have got standard brake discs on the back and ventilated on the front, if I remember right. So it's going to be one of these. So let's get this one off. Actually, that disc looks okay. Maybe the pads on this side are messed up, but that disc looks okay. Maybe this has got vented all round. I really don't know. No, that disc looks manky. Oops. I've got 50% screwing and unscrewing speed. Like 50% quicker than normal, which is a good thing. So, caliper off then. Oops, brake pads off. That might be one of the sides where the brake pads are screwed, and it isn't. So the brake pads are on a different wheel. So let's go and order this. I could strip the other corners down and then just come and order the parts, but yeah, depends. Depends what I feel like. Sometimes I do it that way, and sometimes I just do it in bits like this. At least I can get this corner done. So right click and part mount, and now I'm going to put the brand new disc on, all shiny, and you'll see from a certain angle, oh no, you need to be up on the lift, from a certain angle it hits these lights and God, it blinds you. You can't see anything. Oops. This, the mouse, no, you see here? You have to click, there's two parts to this assembly, so you have to assemble the parts first. And then it asks you, do you want to install the brake caliper on the brake caliper cylinder? And you do, and then it allows it to go on the car. And of course, the usual 2 bolts at the back. We're done with this side, this corner, so this can go on. You'll notice the bolts seem to go the other way around. They tighten anti-clockwise. Or is it just me? I'm seeing them go anti-clockwise. Maybe it's just my brain. So let's have a look on this side. Could be the pads. I mean, I would expect the fronts to go before the rears anyway, but we'll see. It doesn't necessarily follow that logic, so we'll take this caliper off. That looks okay. I mean, personally, I would clean those discs up regardless. But we don't have wet and dry paper to do that, or sandpaper to do that. So let's take a look and see if we've got any dodgy parts. Yes, we do. Brake pads. So we'll go and order that now, and then we need to order another one. So let's do that then. Is that all? Yep, 2 sets of brake pads. So brake pads were there, so I'm going to guess that the other one's diagonally opposed. Just a guess. You know, just a guess. I'll probably be wrong now. But this game tends to diagonally oppose stuff because it makes people think, oh yeah, it's going to be on the same side, and then it never is. And they make you take a wheel off and strip the brakes down for no reason. You watch it prove me wrong now, but these brake pads are fine. You bugger. Oh, right, let's put this corner on. So it is the brake pads on the other side. I could have put the new pads on this side if we bought them. You do get to choose. Okay, let's put the avalanche rim on. Can I sell these and buy four more rims of this size but a different style and put them on the car? I probably could, but then it might say, you know, you haven't got rim avalanche on the car, so you can't finish the order. But I want customers coming back moaning, saying, "Hey, these aren't my rims, you've stolen them, you fraudulent. I'll have the authorities on you." Right, so we'll strip these. It's got to be these pads then. I mean, look at that disc. I wouldn't put that back on like that. If I've got the brakes stripped, I'm going to be cleaning that. Wait a minute. This might cost me some money. Right, let me just make sure these pads are messed up. And they are. So we need 2 sets of brake pads. This brake disc we took off is really manky. I wonder if we can repair it by cleaning it. Oh no, come on. Just let me have a nice shiny disc. And if the repair fails, well, I have to buy a new disc. And it comes out of my own money. You see, it's just need a little bit more detail. It's a little bit oversimplified. Yeah, no, we need 2 of these. I just wish there was a little bit more complexity to it. I mean, as the game goes on, we do get to visit auctions and racetracks, and I don't know whether I can race customers' cars around. I probably wouldn't want to do that, but you know, I can do up my own car, race it round, maybe then add a turbocharger, race it round again. There's auctions to go to buy cars, or probably sell cars that you do up. But I wish I could repair things like, you know, like just clean them up. You know, because if I was a mechanic taking that disc off, I'd give it a clean. You know, I'd sand that down and try and, you know what I mean? But it seems that they're quite happy to put bits on. The other thing is, I would take, if I was stripping the brakes down and it looked like the cylinder was going, the seal or something, I'd say, look, while you've got the brakes off, the seal's okay at the moment, but it's on its way out. I would replace it if I were you, and stuff like that. But you can't. It seems like, you know, people are quite happy to put worn parts back on the car to a certain level, depending on the customer. This one, he's happy to go with. I mean, look, he's happy to put any worn part on there that's 58%, more than 58, less than 58% worn, more than 50. Well, that 42%, the bit in the middle. You know what I mean. Okay, so let's go and do the rears. Click first, and then come on. What's going on? Oh yeah, part mount. That would help. So on with the disc. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, customer's always right, so whatever. There was a car I had in the shop the other day, and it was gleaming, shiny, beautiful engine. Oh, and this corner brake needed doing, and everything was rusty, like completely full up with rust, and the rest of the car was gleaming. Okay, we're done. Oh yeah, watch the shadows. You've got 2 shadows of the car because you've got 2 lights. Watch when I stick it up on the lift here. You see the shadows moving. You see that? That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, we can have a wander under. This is normal rust. Let's have a look at the bodywork. Is that rusted up? Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's something around this area where I live. Must be near the seaside or something. And I think we're done. We haven't had to change any oil on any cars lately, but we can check it, because a diligent mechanic will check the oil anyway, right? Where's the bloody dipstick? There it is. There it is. Come back. No, it isn't. I thought I saw it. I think it's at the back then, is it? No. Where's the dipstick? It's normally got a yellow handle loop on it, so it's fairly easy to spot. What the hell? Right. And the battery's not connected with any cables, so it's amazing how these things start. Where's the dipstick? Obviously you need the dipstick to see how much oil is in the car. What the hell's going on here? They haven't put a dipstick on this car. Well, this is the first time I've ever seen a car without a dipstick on it. Which dipstick made this? Oh, that sound you can hear? That ruffling? That's meant to be my overalls. Am I missing something? Oh, and later on when my garage expands, my workshop expands, I'll have a battery charger so I can charge up batteries. I don't even know why I carried on that sentence, it's kind of obvious. I am a little, more than a little bewildered at this, that this car does not have a dipstick. What? So it never runs out of oil then? Electric car maybe? Don't think so. Okay. Well, that's weird. So we only get paid $500 for that, but... So this one, I'm going to move it to my... No, I'm not. Let's have a look. Oh God. Running gear brake system. Grinding and shaking from the gearbox. That's familiar. Running gear problems. Okay. Let's stick it on the test path and see if we can find anything. And then we can also maybe take it for a test drive on the track and see if anything's going on there. So, into the test path. Took them a couple of updates to get this working properly. It would be that you would walk in here and click on this or this and then get in the car and it wouldn't move. But if you clicked on this, it would work. Now it works if you click on all three parts. So let's click here and we'll just do the path test. So if you've ever sat in your own car when doing an MOT, and no car ever starts, this looks like a pretty good car. Well, they always have to turn over for ages. Okay, so we're going to go and place the front wheels on the brake testing thing. And now we're going to hold the brakes. And now braking. That's passable. Okay, now we'll go and put the rear wheels on it. And hold the brakes. Ooh, that rear one on that left side there. So that's, yeah, rear left side is absolutely... And now we're going to go forward and do the suspension test. The car stops for you. Here we go. Watch your fillings. Okay, front suspension is passable. And now we're just going to try the back suspension. I wonder if that rear left is going to fail. It is indeed so. Oh, wow! Have we discovered these parts or what? I wonder if we've discovered them all. Oh, I hope I don't have to strip all this off though. Rear suspension arms. Yeah, so the rear left, brakes and suspension. I don't know what he's done with that then. Probably smacked into a rock or a curb or something. So this test, as you can see, has examined 57 parts. So let's exit from here. That's amazing. Look, and there's still parts not discovered. Oh, wow. And look, he's happy to put parts back on the car that are only 45%, you know, of any worth. So we've got one brake part not discovered. That might be the pads. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe they would have been discovered already. And obviously the gearbox. But we'll take it out on the test track. Maybe we'll get some discovered parts from the gearbox. And maybe we'll get some discovered parts from this as well. Alright then. So in order to do that, we've got to move the car to the car lifter first. Oh, why did I choose the car lifter? I meant the garage door. Sorry. There we go. Okay, now we can look at the rust. I mean, it's overkill. Come on, guys. We don't need this much. Oh, I need to get in the car. Whew. Need an air freshener in here, boys. Yeah, okay. So, right click and drive the car to the test track. Good, isn't it? I quite like it. I'm into it because it's the progression. Yeah, again, it's another game with a grind, but there's a lot of games now that, you know, a lot of crafting games and survival crafting games, which is, I've had a couple, I've bought a couple, but it is grindy. The ones I've bought, obviously, are the sci-fi, the spacey ones, the Astroneer and Empyrean and all that. Now, I don't know if Empyrean is one of those, but Astroneer and something else, I can't remember what it's called. Redina. I didn't buy that one, I had the demo. Anyway, let's test this. It's not quite as quick as other cars I've tested. Come on, second gear. Oh, we've got wheel spin in second. Ooh, that brake. Now, I'm surprised when I'm braking, it's not, you know, pulling to one side. But again, it's detail they haven't put in. I hope you can hear my voice over this. I took an American muscle car over there at full speed, and as soon as it hit the bumps, it just flew into the air. Oh, I didn't know you had that view. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I didn't know you could do that view. I think I can get back on here. No, you can't. I didn't know that view was available, this one. First time I've seen that one. Okay. Normally it's just that one and then you're back here again. Right, let's do the brake test. Dukes of Hazzard style if I can do it. Got to stop within. Oh, yeah. Well, I guess that tick means that I've done it anyway. So have we discovered any gearbox parts? I'm guessing it's going to be clutch stuff. Don't want one of the leaves to come off the pressure plate. That'll make it rattle. My knowledge of mechanics is very basic. I don't really have much of a knowledge. I've got a friend here who has a knowledge of mechanics like you can't believe. Okay, right, let's have a look. We've done all we can do, so let's move it onto the lift and take a look at if we've discovered anything. The usual scratched hood. Oh my god. I haven't even done the air filters yet. Well, I have, but not on video. Replacing air filter, oil filter, fuel filter. There's the dipstick, look. You see? Now, let's check the oil. We don't need to, but as we can see, it's, yeah, that's me moving the dipstick. It's nice and clean. It's got a little bit taken out. It's not quite at the max. We can fill it up, but not really much point. Okay. Right, let's see if we discover anything. Looks like we've got more. Were these here before these springs? They must have been, right? We've got 1, 2, 3 undiscovered parts from the running gear. Brake system, we've got 1, and yeah, and we know the 4th one's going to be the flywheel. So again, we need to dismantle the gearbox. And this might be a front-wheel drive car, is it? Hold on. Let's right-click and go to Overview. Yeah, it's front-wheel drive, so we don't have to take off any prop shafts. Alright then. So, up you go. Well, we need to focus on the car first, so let's focus somewhere like here. And right-click, and no, you can't part mount. Need this one. Okay, so you can see these are the parts that have been discovered in red. Oh yeah, what's the other word for the sway bar? The anti-roll bar. So the anti-roll bar needs changing, which means I've got to take this side off as well. This is completely screwed, as we know from the tests, and as you can see on here, that's not the steering rack. Can I walk? No. Yeah, that part is not a steering rack, so don't be giving me that. That's it, this one. This has to come out, which means we've got to take both sides off. And we can look, and it looks like the brake calipers on both sides. Oh, well, here's a job. And of course, and the gearbox as well. It's got to come out. So we've got to strip all this side off. We've got to strip off at least the wheel and tire has to come off, and then we can take this shaft out, and then we can get that out. So that's minimal. But we do have to take the wheels off both sides here. In fact, the wheels have got to come off all 4 sides, let's face it. Okay, well, the biggest work is on this side, this corner, this rear left corner. So I'll probably do that first and then do the gearbox, I would say. Yeah, this cursor, right, the dot, I'm going to put it right on that bolt. And I'm going to undo the bolt and see where the dot ends up. It's over there now. So I can't do Formula 1 Williams style wheels off and on like that. So anyway, let's just get the wheels off. That tyre looks a bit manky and all. Don't care about the car. They're going to spend so much on the car and the bodywork's rotting to crap. Every time you hear that beep beep, that's another order coming in or disappearing. Well, just coming in, I think it is. And once I've done this car, we're definitely going to go and have a look for a barn find. I might not buy a car. It depends what I see. I want to find one that I'd like to work on. Oh, look at that disc. Now that does need replacing. Okay, so we can do the gearbox first, or we can do all of this mess around here first. So if we go into Overview, we can see that the sway bar needs to come out, and it looks like, is that red? Brake pads? Yeah. Oops. It looks like the brake pads on this are a bit manky. So to get the sway bar off, you'll see, if I'm trying to see if I can show it to you, the sway bar is linked to this sway bar rear end link. So in order, all we need to do is to take that off, and now that'll come off once we do it on the other side. However, it does look as if these brake pads are screwed, and that disc is definitely gone. The knuckle seems okay, the hub seems okay. Well, I say okay, but okay. Well, let's see what we have here. 2 sets of brake pads and a brake disc. And look at this, 45% on that wheel, and he'll take 44. You see what I mean? It's like, it's, yeah. So we've still got a part undiscovered. So it might be on one of the corners that we haven't actually looked at yet. So anyway, all this needs to come off. Actually, I don't think we need to take off this, but I'm going to take it up. I'm not sure about this disc, but it doesn't matter, I'll just strip it down anyway. So where's that rear sway bar thingy? There it is. Just access it from here. Okay, so now that sway bar should be able to come out. And that looks absolutely gone. And so there's that. We'll take off the rubber bushing first. And now we'll take the rear suspension arm off. Okay, now if you're not sure if there's anything else needed, you can always click on a part that's in that vicinity and right click, go to examine mode, and as you can see, this needs to come off and all this stuff. And the rear suspension arm needs to come off as well, and that bush, that bushing up there needs to come off. I'm not seeing any red bits on the other side now. No. Okay, so we're going to take off this bushing and then all this and the 2 arms. Oh, hold on. Yep. And this too. I'll try and remember that. So that has to come off. This has to come off. That seems to be that was going right through the fuel tank. Yeah, it's not something I would be interested in driving. When the suspension arm goes into the fuel tank, somehow I can see leaks being caused there. Okay, that knuckle looks knuckled, so let's get that off. I think that could be the undiscovered part. See, and wheel bearings in here as well could be messed up. Oops, get that off. I'm not sure about the knuckle, but it looks like it's in a bit of a crappy condition. So it's floating in midair now, so that definitely comes off. Okay, so let's have a look at car status and see if we've discovered anything else. We've got, yeah, we have. We've only got one undiscovered part now. And this we know is the flywheel, so I'm not bothered about that. So, part not discovered, eh? I wonder... Oh, did that look... Yes, there she is. But that's not a discovered part, though. Get it right in a minute. I might have to get my little notepad and pen ready to write down all these parts that I need to order. I've had to do that a couple of times. So I don't know whether there's any more brake issues here, but I'm going to have a look at this bearing just in case. Oh no, it looks okay. Yep, it looks okay. I'm not seeing anything here that's really bad. So I've got a feeling that whatever brake component it is, oh, it's, we've got that it has not been discovered. The one that's not been discovered is around here. Ah, there it is. It's the ABS relay. That's what it is. I keep forgetting about that. Let's get that off. Yeah, that is screwed. So this is our undiscovered part. I wonder if on the test track that means I didn't have ABS. Oh, let's have a look at car status then. So braking system, ABS module, there we go. That is the flywheel. So here, find and fix any running problems. So there's a suspension part or a bushing or something that's not in good condition that we haven't found yet. So I'm gonna have to have a look and see if I can find where that might be. So if I I'm not seeing anything obvious. Ah, wait a minute. Well, we know that has to come out, right? So I should take this off. Okay, let me just go into examine mode again. Yeah, so we know that's going to come off. There's bushes worn there that we know about. There's no unknown bushes here. Ah, interesting. And this side, well, there's no bearing in there because you got to remember it's front-wheel drive, so it's a little bit different. Let's take this off while we're here. Can we do that? No. So we've got that and the brake pads. Sorry, brake caliper. Let's get those off anyway. We'll take the pads off just in case they didn't get picked up. And I've got to take the front axle off. I'll take that disc off anyway just in case. And now we've got to take this off. Of course the gearbox needs to be stripped out as well. So let's go into examine mode. Make sure there's no more reds. Now the gearbox doesn't want to come out. And that's weird. I hope it doesn't want me to drop this subframe thing on it, or front suspension cross member. Probably more accurate. Oh, okay. Ah, that starter looks a bit nanky. Nanky's like manky, but I don't know whether it's worse or I don't know. I just made it up. So let's get the starter off. I don't know whether that got picked up. And of course you can't take the gearbox off until you raise the car. Oh, am I going to have a plethora of parts to order? Oh. It's get your notepad out time, or we just do it step by step. Either way, it's a tedious, laborious process. Okay, so let's get this. We know it's the flywheel. It has to be, right, guys? I mean, oops, pressure. pressure plate can't come off until the clutch bearing is, thrust bearing is off. Doesn't matter which order you take the bolts off. And yeah, it seems to be that the biggest factor of parts needing replacing is rust, which I suppose is kind of appropriate for my channel, Rusty Dog, kind of. So obviously, I mean, that was obvious what that was. So we got this, and it's not part of the brake system, it's part of the running gear, so it could be any suspension part. I'm not, this is where I need a bloody torch. I'm not seeing anything obvious. I mean, it might be a dodgy spring or even one of these caps at the top, and if it is, that would be cool, because then I can show you the suspension puller tool. But to find out if it is, unless I can see anything obvious, I'm going to have to strip all the corners down to find out. I'm trying to find something really obvious, like it might just be, but these bearings look okay. I mean, that's silver. A crappy bearing would be rusty. Rusty. So unless it's something really, really obvious, I'm just going to have to start stripping bits off in the hope. See, I took that one off that side, but that bushing, let's take it out. Oh, it looked okay. It looked okay when it came out. Yeah, part not discovered. So before I forget, and I will forget, I'm going to put it back in again. Possibly something on the front then. Running gear. What about this front suspension cross member? It doesn't look damaged enough. If I take these bushings out, I mean, is it this? I can't really put the car back together until I discover this other part, because I'm going to have to strip the whole thing down again otherwise. Oh, this steering rack, does that look a bit manky? Let's have a look. We've got to take the inner tie rods. We can't do that until we take the outer tie rods. Let's have a look at the steering rack. Let's get to the outer tie rod here, which is there. I don't know whether this is it. I'm just taking a chance here. Now the inner tie rod comes off. Same on the other side. So yeah, it's a little bit time consuming and stuff, but you do... Why did you put me back over the other side of the car? What's the matter with you? You do learn stuff on the way. Like if you're not very mechanically minded, you pick stuff up. And if you are, then once you've figured out certain procedures, then the whole thing kind of goes quicker anyway. Let's have a look at the steering rack. Yes, sir. That was the rustiest part I found, and that was the bit that I needed. And there we go. We are done. Everything discovered. I'll tell you what, this better pay well. I want 60 grand after this. So now, look at this lot. Oh my god. I've got to order everything that's red. Oh. Okay, we'll do it a few lines at a time, I guess. So 2 sets of brake pads and a brake disc. Let's do that first. So we're going to be in and out between the computer and the inventory. Oh, I'll just go here. Brakes. So we need 2 sets of pads, and we need a standard brake disc. Okay, so let's take a look. So we've got these, so let's get rid of the old parts so that we know where we are. Look at that, condition 1%. I have to throw them in the bin basically. Which it should say that instead of do you want to sell for $0, it should say do you want to throw these away in the bin. Yes please. Okay, so he's quite, you'll find that anything that's in orange, I guess if it drops below 44 then it turns red. I don't know what the procedure there is. So we've got this entire row now. So because this is all the rear bits, look at all this lot, 2 rows of red. I mean, this car was knackered at the back. I should write all this down, or just take a photo with my phone and then access the photo. That's probably the best way. Sway bar, rear end link, rear sway bar. If I just put the word rear, do you think I'll remember this? Suspension arm A and B. The bushings will order together. So, and the bearings. So, suspension arm A and B, sway A, absorber A, and rear end link. I'll never remember that. I'll never remember that. And if I just type in rear, yeah. Yeah, I know some other parts are listed here, but I can't remember it that way. A's and B's. So, and also if there's another sway bar end link that we need, then, well, we have to just go through it, unfortunately. So we know we need a rear anti-roll bar, and we know we need a rear shock absorber, and a rear sway bar. So a rear end link, a sway bar, and a shock absorber. I know they're both A. A rear end link, a sway bar, and a shock absorber. Okay, so we have those now. So we can get rid of them. There's another dollar made. Ooh, $6. I can get myself a sandwich. Because I never seem to go for a pee or eat or anything. Right, rear suspension arm A and B, and rear suspension upper arm. So if we type in rear suspension, we'll just buy all the arms. A normal arm, a B, and an upper. Really? Okay, rear suspension arm. What have I done wrong? Nothing. Okay. Alright. So, rear. Well, I was getting worried there. I thought, was it B or A? And go for A. Don't care. It was B. Oh, I know. I sell it at full price anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's why I took a chance. Right. This is the tedious part. I wish I could just click on all the red ones, just multi-click, like shift click, 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 and just right click and then just say order, and just order all the parts from here. But then that would avoid going to the computer. Or just right click and add to cart, and then you go to the computer and say buy, and be able to multi-buy instead of doing all of this palaver. Okay, so let's come down, and we bought rear suspension arm B, upper arm, and suspension arm. Alright, so suspension arm, suspension arm B, and upper arm. Okay, these I'm going to leave. So, oh, that whole thing's knackered. I did need one of those. Oh, right, we need the whole shock absorber assembly, which means we're going to be putting... No, we don't put that together because it's the rear one. We can just put those together normally. We don't need the spring puller for that. Okay, so rear shock absorber cap, rear spring, and spring cap. And suspension arm A. So rear shock absorber cap, spring cap, and I believe the spring itself is completely mushed. Another new word. Alright, so we've got the rear spring, which we've just bought. We've got the rear shock absorber cap, which we just bought. The spring cap, which we just bought. And the rear suspension arm. Okie dokie. Bearings and bushes we're going to leave. So rear wheel hub, knuckle A, brake disc ventilated, and ABS module and caliper. Oh god, I wish I could have a good memory for this stuff, but I don't. There's plenty to buy. I could have probably edited this video and took this part out, but it's all part of the process, you know. Okay, let's go through this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to sing that song. 4 rubber bushings, 3. So it's 4 small rubber bushings and 2 rubber bushings. Okay, let's get those. 4 small, 2 normal. We need 4 small, please. 4 small, 2 normal, and a packet of chips. Or fries for our American audience. Okay, so where are we? Back in the inventory. Okay, so we can get rid of these now. All selling for 0 because they're pretty much useless. Now, if I find that I threw 5 away, it'll tell me later on that I'm missing something. So, you know, I can't really go wrong with this. Okay. So, the next dodgy bit is wheel hub bearing. I didn't buy any of those, did I? So we've got a wheel hub bearing and a rear wheel hub and a knuckle A. Wheel hub bearing, rear wheel hub, and a knuckle A. A wheel hub bearing, a rear wheel hub, right? Oh, that's not right. That one. All right. Let's take a look. Wheel hub bearing, rear wheel hub. Yeah, we're good. I'm good with that. So we can ditch that. Again, unusable. That's reusable, probably recyclable. Okay, now we need a brake caliper. We need 2 of them. So 2 brake calipers, a ventilated disc and an ABS module. 2 brake calipers, a ventilated disc and an ABS module. 2 brake calipers, a ventilated disc and an ABS module. Not the relay, as I said earlier. Okay, so we can get rid of that. And let's move this across to there. And that. And that. Okay, so now we're moving to the front of the vehicle. We've done all the rear stuff. So it's the front drive shaft. See, I could recondition the gearbox. Why don't they let me try and do that? Because if it fails, it's going to cost me $1,000 to replace it. So we need all 4 parts of the clutch and the front drive shaft. Okay. I call it all 4 parts. I know there's only 3 parts, but I count the flywheel so I can remember. So front drive shaft. And now we want the clutch plate, the pressure plate, the release bearing, and the flywheel. That's expensive. I've got on my Honda I've got do you call it lightweight flywheel? Aircraft, it said something about aircraft on it, aircraft weight or something, I don't know. Right, pop in here, get rid of this, and this. Steering rack. That's it, steering rack. Log on again. Please enter login name and password. Can you imagine that? Having to do that every time? I think I spelled that wrong. Oh, look at that. RNG. Okay, sorry. I just saw it there and I thought, yeah. Elite Dangerous. I don't know. Got it on my head. Is that expensive for a steering rack? That's about what, 550, 600 pounds? That seems a bit pricey. Maybe not, I don't know. Maybe not for I was going to say for a car like this, but yeah, maybe not. So let's ditch the old steering rack. I'm going to have a look. Now that I've got all this inventory, I'm just going to pop here. You can't repair anything from that stuff. Why? Why? Right, we need to put everything back together again. So gearbox is here. So let's do this side, or this corner. I keep saying side, but let's go to this corner first. So I'm going to put in the old steering rack first. Not the old one, I mean the, the new one. Stick the flywheel on, get the gearbox rebuilt. Get the clutch plate on. Brand new clutch, that's going to feel lovely. Yeah, tighten them up in that order. I really don't think it matters what order you do them in. It's not like, oh yeah, we'll do them diagonally first. And no, it's nothing like that. So I mean, you put a gearbox that's like 45%, you know, left in its life, and I don't know. You've gone, well, the guy's on a budget, obviously. But this is going to cost him. Going to cost you, mate. Going to cost you. Yeah, and your flux capacitor's gone as well, mate. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're looking at it. Your flux capacitor's gone, and your dilithium crystals are almost worn out. Right, okay. I have seen Back to the Future and Star Trek. Right, yeah. Well, you know, cars are getting more and more advanced these days, right? Yeah. I knew a guy, when I went to the UK, there was a guy there, I hope he's not watching this, who, he was on the garage, he was at the garage that changes the tyres and stuff like that. And he always said that, yeah. But it was just, I mean, it was really repeated quite a bit. So, you know, you'd say, you know, oh yeah, got to have a bit of that. You've got to have a bit of that. Is the phrase. Oh yeah, got to have a bit of that. Got to have a bit of that. Yeah. But the amount of yeah got to have a bit of that. Got to have a bit of that. Yeah. You know, I would tell him, you know, oh yeah, I bought these brakes, and I bought these brake pads. I got them for this price. It's a good price, isn't it? And he'd go, yeah, that's all right, yeah, got to have a bit of that, got to have a bit of that, yeah. Nice guy though. It was him and his father working in the garage together, and I don't want to be insulting or cruel, but you know, yeah, I'm not going to say anything. But when it came to doing the tyre work, fitting the tyres and balancing and cleaning the hubs, these guys were really diligent. They were really good at it. Now, when they put your wheel on, it wasn't just one of those like this. No, they used a torque wrench, and they got the torque. They got the exact torque settings for the bolts. For that particular car. When I took my BMW there, which is just past its MOT in Gibraltar, which is fantastic. When I took that there, they torqued up the bolts to the exact what they're supposed to be for the manufacturer. I mean, they're really good, diligent guys. But I don't think I could carry out too much of an intellectual conversation with them, if you know what I mean. But by God, did they know their job. Probably the best I've ever been to in terms of doing your tyres and making sure the hub's clean and everything. I mean, I'm judging here. I mean, I could certainly have an intellectual conversation about tyres and stuff, and they would run circles around me. There you go, 2 bushes go into there. But yeah, these guys were spot on. I mean, take the wheel off, there was a little bit of rust. Hold on, let me get this on. A little bit of rust on the hub here. I haven't got it fitted to the car yet, but let's put this on. This thing. So if there's any rust on the surface here or on the back of your wheel, it would all get grinded down, and you know, so that when the two surfaces met, it was the best contact that they could have. I mean, yeah, they didn't miss out any detail. You had to wait there. I was there for 2 hours once, but there was 2 customers in front of me, so you can imagine. And I was sat there waiting for 2 hours. I thought, oh my God, what a waste of a day this is. But when they did do my car, they did it properly, so I can't complain. And it was fun talking to the guy. Yeah, got a bit of that. Yeah, brilliant. Couple of good characters. Yeah. So if you're ever in East Sussex, go to these guys. I think it's JWR Tyres or something like that in East Sussex, in Uckfield. Yeah, go there. Give them your business. These guys are brilliant. Better than Quick Fit. Oops. Yes. In terms of diligence, I would say, well, yeah. Anyway, I'm going right off topic now. Well, I'm not actually off topic. I can talk about cars and I won't be off topic. Okay, look at all this corner now. It's looking mint. It's looking absolutely mint condition. Beautiful. Yes, sir. And this wheel is ready to go on. And then, I believe, we will be done once we get all the other side done and whatnot. That corner looks absolutely fantastic now. Yeah, I thought I was missing something. Sometimes I tend to miss out a bearing or a bush or something, but it won't let me reassemble the whole wheel, and then I think, oh no, I've missed a bush out, I've got to just take the wheel off. And no, it won't let you. If you've missed something like that, it won't let you put the wheel on. So if I have missed a bush out or a bearing, it must be something I can replace without taking the wheel off. See, now those spin the right way. Right, all the four wheels are on the car, so my inventory should be why have I got two sets of brake pads? What? I couldn't have missed that out. Is this, again, stuff just appearing in my inventory for no reason? Why have I got two sets of brake pads? Are they below 44%? No. What the hell? All the wheels are on the car. Let's bring it down. What the hell's going on? This is really annoying when this happens, because this is a bug. If it is a bug, this is not one you can put up with in the game. You need to know that your inventory is correct. I mean, you really need to know that that's right. So, I don't really know what's going on there. Okay, and finally, can I see it from over here? Just about. Can I? Can I? Let me click over here. There we go. If I haven't put the brake pads on, the game will tell me, but I don't think you can't put the caliper on then. You know, you can't put the caliper on unless you put the discs on. So, we're done here. Yep. Brakes need fixing. Yep. Yep. Oh, look at the payout, guys. Look at the payout! Oh, 61 grand. We're going to go and do a barn find. Why? Where are these left over from? You see, if they're red, you get rid of them. Could they be from my previous vehicle? Possibly. I don't know if it is or if it's a bug. Anyway, we're empty now. So, I'm just going to quick look and see if there's anything cool here to do. Should we quickly do this one? That looks like it's based on a Mercedes AMG thing. I've got 36 seconds to decide that one. Brakes, and yeah, let's do the exhaust here. This is really quick, really simple, because there's generally only 3 parts to the exhaust anyway: middle section, outer section, and the front section. So let's just quickly do that, and then we will go to a barn, or all 3 barns. And if we could get taken there automatically, would that be an autobahn? Oh dear. Right. Oh, now this. Oh, this might have one of those nice engines in it. There she is. Yes, you get plenty of engines. Should I get my engine crane and just steal it and put some old vintage thing in there? Do you think they'll notice? Now, so the exhaust is... Oh, it's even got the proper doors. So it's based on the Mercedes. No dead bodies in the trunk. So yeah, it's definitely the AMG Mercedes. There's one of those here in Gibraltar, and it's... I mean, I don't know. I'm not into long nose cars so much, apart from possibly the E-Type. I'm not really into that What's the American one with the long, Viper, Dodge Viper? I'm not into that shape where it's got a really huge long bonnet. I don't know, I've never been into it so much. You know, little back end and a big long front. But it, you know, even though it's not my style of body on the car, it is a nice car. You see now, I can't, I'm pressing the button to rev, but I can't rev it up, which is a shame. Okay, let's go back to what they call normal mode, and it might not go up on the crane with the up on the lift with the thing off. Look, we can actually take this off. We can go into is it this one? Oh, that's interior disassemble. And can we take the wing off just like this? No. Switch to assemble mode. Yeah, you've got disassemble mode where the doors fly off. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Okay, so let's move the car. I can't seem to move the car. It wants to go into normal mode for some reason. And we'll move it straight to the lifter. And we know it's the exhaust, so whether the parts are discovered or not, it doesn't matter. I know where to go and do and what to do. So let's have a look and see if they are. Oh, pedal. So yeah, parts not discovered, but this is easy. It's usually just all of this. So let's get rid of the muffler. Ah, wait a minute, it's got two of them. Oh, and it might go all the way to the front here. So I'm just going to strip both sides off, and because it looks, actually this looks a bit, no it doesn't. Yeah, it does. So we'll just, as you can see, it's really easy to drop these off. So we'll just do that. Now, I've only taken those parts off up to now. Let's see if they've all been discovered. I hope it's not the manifold. There we go, there's a part, look. And this one. Yeah, didn't I say I hope it's not the manifold? Yeah. What the hell is the third part then? The other manifold. Okay, so we've got to drop the other manifold off. So we're going to have to take this off anyway. No bolts on these things, you'll notice. And now we have to drop the car. I was at the right side. I thought I was, I just didn't see the box. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit awkward. We can get to it, there we go. Right, so it's just that bit at the front and the two manifolds. And then we'll definitely go to a barn find. But if I do buy a car, I won't be doing it in this video, but because we've already gone a bit long already. Alright, so this is going to be a very easy thing to order. I wonder if they'll have left and right. No, so two V8 exhaust manifolds and a front exhaust pipe. So exhaust manifold and front exhaust pipe. Exhaust, front exhaust pipe. There we go. And exhaust manifold. Did I miss it? This is in the exhaust section, so it should be there. I guess not. I guess it's part of the engine section. Okay. So this is another word for a male contortionist. Okay. If you get that, fine. If you don't bother. Don't worry about it. A Chinese male contortionist. An e-fold. Okay, so yeah, terrible. I know it's a terrible joke. So let's get this on there. Oh, fiddlesticks. Yeah, available from engine bay. I am in the engine bay. Which is precisely why I wanted it fitted. I didn't see whether there was any money or experience bonus with this car. And we'll make sure to sell all the old bits as well, obviously. It's amazing, I've done so many oil filter changes and air filter changes and topping up, draining the old oil and putting new oil in, tyre changes. I've done so many, and yet in this video it hasn't come up once. Oh, wouldn't it be good if I could start the car now? Put it back over there and start it up with no exhaust on it. I've got a feeling the engine note isn't going to change at all. It should be really loud now, but I just know it won't be. That, you see, now I'm curious. Come on, it might not even start. It's not gonna. It's not. If it is loud, I'm gonna be very impressed. I'll be very impressed if this is like super loud because there's no exhaust on it. Not really, eh? I think... Well, let's try and remember that sound. Take it on the test track, it'll sound normal. Okay, I've got an idea of the sound there then. It's the first time I've done this car. Right, so we'll just get the exhaust on and we will be good to go. Into part mount mode, and we'll start at the beginning, although I don't think you need to, but we'll start at the beginning and work our way back. We only bought one of these, didn't we? We did indeed, but that one's at 93%, so it's good. Right, so all the duff parts are on the car now. What I mean by that is all the duff parts that were on the car have been replaced now. That's what I meant. They're not on the car. That would be stupid. Like, client doesn't pay his money, so we put all the old parts back on. Okay, let's have a walk down to the back and put these mufflers on the back. Right, that is everything. So while the car is getting brought down, I will sell these. $4? $4 for a used exhaust manifold from a V8. Cheapskates. So intuitively the menus and stuff seem to work better for me than they did in 2015. Although, if I'm honest, I don't remember too much about 2015. I didn't spend too much time in it. But in this version, I quite like the way it is. That's the same as before, right? Yeah. We could take it on the test track, but I don't want to crash it. So yeah, I know you want me to, but yeah, to see. I know you want me to. If I had the racetrack open, that would be awesome. All right. Bloody hell. You don't often get a chance to drive a car like this. Oh, that barn, there was one there, now it's here. Nothing opened up yet. No. That racetrack's going to be cool. I can't wait to get into there. So this is called the Royale GTR. Just don't smack it. If I do crash it, don't worry, the vehicle is indestructible. Its only enemy is rust, not rusty. Nice. What I can't do, which is a shame, is pop it into neutral and just rev it. Oops, oops, oops. Trying to do the handbrake thing there. Get into the fence. Oh, I took my finger off the steering there, so I didn't get really a good handbrake turn. Whoa, wow, lots of power there. Whoa. I just couldn't brake in time. No way. To get a really good handbrake turn, you need to get a really good run. I can't seem to do it with this. Let's see if I can do it from here. So much for depth perception. Yeah. There's a close-up of the seats. Let's do the suspension. Good. That guy will be coming back to the garage next week wanting new shocks. Oh, failed that one. Alright, it's probably going to discover about 10 new parts that need changing now. New wings, new doors, new radiator, new grille, new bumpers. Yeah, and it's all coming out of my wage packet. Bloody hell. It's a good thing there isn't a damage meter there. But again, something to put into an expert mode. But, you know, I mean, you've got to be a bit forgiving because driving with these WASD keys and using the space as a handbrake, it's not ideal. But as you can see, everything absolutely checks out. Lovely. I mean, the exhaust was the only thing wrong with this anyway. Right, so let's see how much we're going to get paid. Not too much, I don't think, because we really didn't do too much to it. Nah, a couple of hundred, 210. That's okay. Okay, 61,000. I don't think I've got any oh, I do have an experience point. So do I do successful? Well, I've got nothing to repair, so what's the point of that? That would be handy. Twice as quick part examination. OBD scanner. If I get that, I might get more jobs that will require an OBD scan, so I can find out what's wrong with it. You know, if it's an electronics issue or something like that. So I think I'll unlock that one. This is for my iPad, so I can access my computer from anywhere. I don't have to walk backwards and forwards from it, but I'm okay with that. This one, 5% more income from finished orders. Unlocks the compression tester. I really should be going for these ones first, and these two, and just, you know, doing it in proper order. But I'm gonna go for the OBD just to see if I can get any jobs that come in that require that. So let's visit. Oh wow, 4 barns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one should we go for? Let's go for this middle one. I'm not going to buy any car that's 45,000 because, or 40,000. It will leave me with 20 grand and I can start fixing it up in my own time, but I don't want something so expensive to start out with. Right, so here you can like search for junk, you know. Oh, that came off that Land Rover thing for a V8. So if my car I buy is a V8, I can fit that. Because it's in that condition, I can probably repair it. These can be repaired with bodywork, obviously. Oh, I don't want the truck. Is that all you have? Yeah, it's not my kind of thing, this. 25,000. The thing is, if I leave and go look in the other barns, I can't say to this guy, okay, I'm just gonna have a look around, and if I don't see anything I like, I'll pop back and get this. Because the moment I leave the barn, it disappears. I want a car though. Yeah, I know I could put a big V8 in there and supercharge it, lower it. I don't know if I can. I don't know if you can lower it. I'm not sure. Obviously, it's not going to start, right? No chance. No chance. Oh, what's happened here? Okay, there we go. So you can search here for bits of junk, but that's pointless until I get the car. So, yeah, I know there's probably going to be a few of you pickup truck enthusiasts out there saying, oh my god, you should have got that totally and just started doing it up. If it's still there and there's nothing else that I fancy, I might be tempted to get that. I did want to do a little old muscle car though, but I might be tempted if it's still there, but they tend to go on and off the map now and again, so I mean, you have to come back to the garage. You can't just go straight to, you know, to the next one. See, it's gone, you see. Let's try this one. I think now that I've earned 60 grand, I can own my own car. For the first time. I don't even know if you could do that in 2015, could you? In the Car Mechanic Simulator 2015, if you could own your own car, I'm not sure. Oh god. Is this the only car in here? It hasn't got a door. Where am I going to source a door from? Probably from that other barn. Oh my god, what a piece of junk. Yeah, what's he want for this? 9 grand? 29, are you kidding? $29,000. It's not even a classic. It looks like a Mark 1 Cortina from the back. Or is it a Mark 2 Cortina? Mark 2 Cortina, yeah. What a piece of junk. The body's the wrong colour, I need to paint it. I haven't got access to the paint shop. Maybe that opens up when you own a car though. Yeah. Yeah. No. There's gonna be no barns left at this rate. Oh my god. Yeah. We'll see. I wish I could just go straight to the map though, instead of having to come back here all the time. Top of well, let's just do the top one. Now we're going to get 2 cars that are way over my budget. You see. If there's a Trans Am here for Dodge Charger RT, this is going to be pricey. Now this is the kind of thing I would buy, but this is going to be pricey. This is going to be 40,000-ish. But yeah, and just work on this. It's missing a cover there. I'd like to be able to do it all up though, you know. Just take the engine out, strip it all down, find all the bits that need replacing, put the engine on the crane there and just work on it. Or can you work on it on the crane? I'm not sure. Come on, what's if it's under 30? Ah, my god, I can afford it, but look at the torque on that. 679. Wow. Yeah, but one day, I'm not going to buy it because I need to leave something on my bucket list, you know, to buy a Dodge Charger RT and do it up. But I think I should start with a smaller car first. Yeah, I know. Now I'm beginning to think I should have got that truck. That would have been an ideal starter vehicle. Doing the pickup, sell the pickup, make the money, buy the Charger. Another one will come along, another Dodge Charger RT will come along. But 50 grand is above my budget. My budget's 30. I'm sticking to my budget. Oh no! Oh, that's going to be way out of price. And a Pinto, is that a Pinto or something like that? I'm not quite up on the American cars. Is this a Pinto? Look what this guy's got! 2 Shelby Cobras. Now, if these... Oh my god. I'll tell you what, if they're replicas, then we might be able to afford it. If these are the real deal, forget it. The price is going to be way out. No way out. Oh god, I mean, I have one of these. The price of this is going to be staggering. Yeah. If I know, if this is a genuine Shelby Cobra, well, you know what I mean. The game version of it. This is going to be such play. 44, not so bad. 44. Must be a replica. Mind you, know, when they're new, these things cost. I mean, an original Shelby, they're about $1 million, aren't they? I mean, you can pay $100,000 for one that you find in a barn like this. So for 44, that's a bit more pricey. My budget was 30. I've got to stick to my goals. I can't just... But look at this compared to this. But, you know, for a starter car, for me, yeah, this is the kind of price I'm looking at. Because then I can just do it up, sell it, and then I can go for these cars later on in the game, you know? Rather than just jumping in at the deep end. And so, what is this? It's a... It's a Flame-O. Okay, so now what we can do is search this barn and see if we've got any... I'll buy the car, but I want to see if there's any... I know. Yeah. I would have preferred the truck for the 25 than this for the 19, because this is not a very nice car. But, I mean, yeah, to have one of these, obviously, would be just incredible. And I can buy it, but I am going to discipline myself. So anything for a Flamo here. Master RX-7. Ooh, an alternator. In good nick. Let's take a look at the engine and see what we got here. So this is a single overhead cam i4. Car informations. There's no such word as informations. What is that? Right, Salem Flamo. That sounds like something you get in your chest. Okay, so an i4 single overhead cam. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. There's the alternator down there, but what I don't know is if this one's going to fit it, because I can get this alternator really cheap. So any i4 parts here? I don't think so. No. I might have that though. Let's have a look around and see if we can find any more junk. There you go, look, Silent Flamo, front right door window. Looks a bit knackered, but we need one. I don't know if we can, I don't know if this is something we'll be allowed to repair, but let's get it anyway. This is my first time in the barn actually buying junk for my own car. So we need something that's got i4 on it, or for this car. Rear muffler, no, I'm not interested in that. I kind of want to build my car, look. I kind of want to build my car with all new parts. Obviously I want to do a complete concourse restoration on it. It's probably not worth it. Put some of these big ass wheels on it. Lots of Mayan 3 stuff here. Delray custom front headlights. Let's just check if this is missing one and if it's the same. No, it's not. Any more junk around? There's a gearbox for an i4 rear wheel drive, which I'm guessing this car is. It could be reconditioned, but does this car have one? I don't know what condition it's in, and I'm guessing a new one will be very pricey. Yeah, it has got the gearbox, it's all there, there's no missing bits. But I'll be able to buy this gearbox. I've got a 50-50 chance of repairing it. And if it works, then I've bought myself a cheap gearbox. Nothing there. It's fun, isn't it, looking around somebody's barn? I think so, I like it. Delray custom hood. Hellcat front bumper. Yeah. This is my car, look. Single overhead cam i4. There's a camshaft for it. I might just need that, and it's in prime condition. Now that's not our car. I think that's pretty much it then. One more place here. Yeah, of course I want one of these Shelby Cobra looking things. Of course I do. You know, this is 40, is it 43? 44,000. It's worth it. It's completely worth it. It's been resprayed into green. It was originally white. We could put it back to factory. Might be worth more. I know. I didn't know this car was in the game. How can they reproduce a car that looks so much like it and not have to use the license? Damn, man. Damn. And I'm going to have this little poxy piece of... But I like it. I like the fact that I've got a poxy piece of rubbish that I'm going to convert into a new car eventually. So let's just buy it and be happy with it. I'm going to do it. I am. Where do you want the car? Put it in the garage for now. And now I'm going to check out. I think you do it from here. Okay, so $584 for all that. The camshaft is $270, okay, and it's part 1, just very slightly. An i4 single overhead camshaft, part 1, so we buy the parts. Now, because I hope you could hear my voice through all that. Now, because I don't have the warehouse yet, I haven't expanded my workshop to have a warehouse, I can't store those parts there, which is where that's what you would normally do. So they're going to have to stay in my inventory. Now I can work on the car a little bit, but I'm gonna strip it. I'm just gonna completely strip everything out. Seats, everything's gonna come out. It's gonna have a full restoration. I don't know whether the body shop will be open to me now, the car salon, but I'm gonna have to be careful not to sell those parts that I bought. So first thing I want to do, there's my car. Yeah, I'm happy that I bought this. It's missing a driver's seat. Absolutely lovely. Now I can't sit in it. I didn't even notice. There was probably one in the barn. Actually, the interior looks very good. I'm not into the wooden steering wheels, so I'll probably change that. But yeah, it needs a respray, so I'm looking forward to doing that. But it looks tidy. The interior, I'm surprised. It looks very, very tidy. Okay, good. Right, let's have a check down here. And we're going to the main shop. And if I just type in i4. What? $180 for an i4 single overhead cam, and they charged me $270. Right, okay. I've got to be careful now. I've got to know my prices. That's what the iPad is for. So when you're in the iPad, right. When you've got the iPad, you can check the computer, internet, from the barn, and you can compare what the guy wants. I paid $270 for that. What a rip-off. Right, can we go to the repair bench and repair any of these parts? This must be a bug. That has to be a bug. I can't recondition the gearbox? No, I don't want to sell it. But I don't want to put that in the car either. But the one that comes out might be worse. Oh, I can sell it for what I paid for it. So I don't lose out. So camshaft i4 single overhead cam. Camshaft i4 single overhead cam. I'm going to sell it. Now, yes, I can buy another one. Let's get rid of that. Yes, I can buy another one. Get rid of that. But I don't know if I need it yet. I'm going to get rid of these. Yeah, that was a bad move. I thought I could come here. I mean, really, unless the repair bench is broken, It hasn't been in previous builds though, but I honestly thought I could come here and repair the gearbox. So let's take a look at this. This is my car now. So the first thing I want to know is, do I now have access to the junkyard? No. To find bits, the car salon? No. Right, I need to get the car started and to see if it'll start. I don't know if it will. It's got a battery. So I can't do that until I fit a seat. Oh my god. Right. I don't know if I can, right, front right seat. I don't know if I can buy a seat here. I think maybe, let's have a look. I need a front left seat in that style. Oh my god, let's go into here. Interior shop. Ah, my first time here. Ah, body shop. The only way to... See, I can't paint the car. You see, you can buy these, but they're only in the base color. And yeah, oops, ideally I want to... I haven't got my own paint booth yet. Yet. I will when my workshop expands another couple of levels, but that's going to take a while. Let's just see if we can get... Ah, okay, so the seats are that style, so we can pick one up here. So fabric and leather. I don't know. Bloody hell. I'm gonna have to go and take this seat out if I can. Can I? Okay. Excellent. You know what? The car looks in good nick, which means, look at it, it's all silver and shiny, which means I don't have to do a lot of work to it. How do I get out of this? Which means I don't need to do a lot of work to it. Which is a shame, because I was hoping to do it. I mean, the bodywork is messed up. Seat 9, fabric B. I'm guessing it's the same on both sides, otherwise, because it doesn't stipulate left or right here. So it's seat 9, fabric B, this one. That is a left-hand seat. It should have left and right here, but this is a left-hand because the picture is because the seat belt's on that side. No, wait a minute, that's the right-hand seat. It doesn't matter, right? No. And I want another steering wheel because that other one is ghastly. Wooden steering wheels just, they don't do it for me. This'll do. But what about this one? This is one I would have fitted in the Shelby. Or this one. This is more your Shelby Cobra wheel. Don't want to spend too much. This is a bit too modern for that car. That looks very BMW-ish, a little bit. Well, these bottom two stems do, in the middle, this bit. That looks quite BMW-y. I quite like it. I like a thick rim wheel, not these thin ones, really. Let's. No, it's 300. Oh, I've got a discount. So we'll put that in. I'm really not into the wooden steering wheels. Just maybe on a Rolls Royce or a Bentley, but it looks. There's a word for it. It's not coming to my mind though. ostentatious, is that the word I'm looking for? Not sure. Yay! There we go. And we can get the seats in. Now we can sit in the bloody car. Now, does it start? I think it's quite nice. I think I picked up a decent deal here. It looks like I was hoping to have to strip the engine down and rebuild. But if I'm honest, I can still, because there's going to be a lot of worn parts, so I can still build it up to brand new again. Does she start though? Good, it doesn't. And I say good because it means it's going to give me something to do. And when I'm done, I'll transfer it from here to the park or the test path, and I'll bring another car. I'll bring a customer car in. So guys, hopefully I can switch rims on this car as well. Put some bigger rims on and some smaller tires. Whether it'll let me do that, I don't know. But this car will be for the next video. So this is my Rusty Dog car, and before I leave, I'm just going to see what the cost of doing this pointless next part is. Wow, my first time in here. I've not seen any of this before. Can I get something without a state on it? Oh, you know it. Oh, Rooty. Yes, and I'll take 2, please. What? What? How much? What? Are you kidding? What, are you charging me by the letter? No, you're not. Holy crap. 190 to 1... You have got to be joking. Forget it, man. What a rip, 2 grand. Because you've got to pay for the private plates, I suppose. I'm going to put Rusty Dog on there. So the car doesn't start. Where do we start looking? Well, ignition system. So, this is for another video, guys. Oh, and the battery might be flat, but I haven't got a charger, so it bloody better not be. I'll have to buy another battery otherwise. Oh, it doesn't want to come out. Of course it does. There we go. Right, so does the battery need charging? Find out in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time. Bye.